And we're live. I think we're live. I'm in charge today. So things are
You think we're live?
so we're going it's going to be interesting. Indy had another PC issue, and so we're streaming live from the Powell Group headquarters versus the Indy Group headquarters. So hey Indy, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm good.
Are you ready to celebrate July 4th, America's Independence Day, in the most American way possible, which is pretty much explosives and alcohol?
I guess probably not going to drink too much. I do have. I already drank.
Me either. We're good. So hey everybody, we had last week off because Indy and I were both on vacation, spending a little time with the family on both ends. But we're back, and we're going to talk about some indie news today. We have very little structure for today's program because we're just behind and catching up. But we're going to have fun with it anyway. So, where do you want to start, Andy? Anything exciting that you've seen lately?
I did read something about. Did you see the thing on Gama Sutra about the these people are getting they raped a 7-year-old avatar on Roblox, and so there's this massive yeah, can you believe that?
I would love to say no, I can't believe that, but I can completely and wholeheartedly believe that because people are assholes.
Yeah, and so that was like the latest thing that was in my was something about that, and I was like, and I guess that goes along the same line as on my radio show the other day. I was talking about how Nazis and white supremacists recruit people by going into multiplayer games like Fortnite and Minecraft and that kind of stuff.
And that really doesn't shock me, because I've wondered for years why there aren't more, how do we put it, operations like that going on when, like people are getting recruited through WoW guilds and things like that. All the game things out there that, the government probably doesn't monitor like they should.
Right. They're also going into mental health forums and stuff like that. That's ridiculous, dude.
Wonderful. The beauty of the connected age.
I know.
So I was trying to find, there was an article, and we talked about this the other week, that the ongoing lawsuit between Bluehole and Epic, and they sued them in Korean court for stealing their copyright, which you can't really do. Well, this week they have dropped the case. So, it's one of those that they probably figured out that it isn't something that they're going to win, or Epic could have put pressure on them going, do you really want to sue us since you're using our engine? Or it could be the fact that Tencent owns pieces of both companies.
It's probably a mix of everything combined.
That's probably.
But I mean, why even do it in the first place? Because of that, it was probably done independently, and then someone went, "Hey, we're suing ourselves."
Well, they're not. Somebody at Tencent might have done. But it didn't say why they dropped it. It just said they dropped it. I can pull it up. So yeah, PUBG drops Fortnite, as it ends in a draw. What does it say? Filed the lawsuit. No, lawsuit dropped, but it's not clear why or whether there was any settlement between PUBG and Epic Games. So
wow,
I think part of it is there was no case there to be won one way or another, because you can't copyright a game ID or even a gameplay mechanism. So
I'm suing because of first-person shooters. Yeah. I mean,
you copied us. No, everybody has copied everybody for years. So that's part of the problem. But yeah, that was interesting. And then, as we see here, Bethesda implies that Sony is preventing
Hey, what's up?
crossplay. Hey, and I can't read your name because it's purple on a background. Zach.
Yeah.
How you doing, Zach? Yeah, it's purple on a black background, and I can't see anything on that. Get my glasses set up a little closer. But
Ectoplasm.
yes. So shortly after E3, when everything exploded because Sony won't allow crossplay on Fortnite, Todd Howard implies it's not an implication. Sony is just doing this because they don't have to. But we'll see if added pressure changes their stance. But I'm still willing to bet that it's not. They've been playing this game for a very long time. They're the ones that are the market leaders. And as a result, it ain't going to change. Not anyway.
Right.
But what else is new out there? Let's see. Go back to my. Steam has come out and said that they are going to put out their own sales reporting mechanism that will be quote unquote better than Steam Spy.
That will be cool.
Well, it will, but
your mic is cutting out here and there at the end of sentences. His mic or my mic? Jay's mic or my mic? It's you might have the noise gate turned up just a little bit too much.
Actually, I don't think I have a noise gate on it at all anymore.
Huh.
Because I had that the opposite issue in there somewhere else.
Jay's mic. Okay, yeah.
Your mic is loud.
Who's mine or Jay's? It's always something. Like when he's quieter, it just cuts out.
That's just me being me, most likely. Probably.
So what do you think about that? I mean, I know that you were not happy with the Steam Spy thing when their whole privacy system changed and it messed Steam Spy up a lot. But that's they probably realized, there is a massive need for this, and so they are actually going to do something about it.
Well, I think they will, but I don't know how they're going to do it. That's the question, because it's got in order for them to disclose accurate sales, they have to get everybody's permission. So unless they change the way that, the EULA or whatever you want to say, the terms of service when you sell your game on Steam, I think it's going to be hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's going to be companies that are going to opt out of it and say, no, we don't want it to know. We don't want anyone to know. But on the same side, I think Sergey has done a good job on Steam Spy of keeping up with things and editing his algorithms and doing a bunch of math stuff that, quite frankly, I don't understand at all. But, with all of that in there, I think that, his methods have gotten better. And so it's getting back to somewhat, the accuracy that it used to have. And, to be clear, for it to be a useful tool for developers and publishers, it's one of those things that it doesn't necessarily have to be perfect. You don't need to know, down to the 1 or the 10 or even the 100 of how many units are actually being sold of a genre. You want to be able to get a read on it overall, so you can go through and say, okay, let's look at the last 2 years of indie survival games. What has sold, what has not sold, what are the average sales? These are the ways that you go through and you do your own forecasting as a developer, as you should be doing. Look at competitive titles out there, how your title matches up in terms of features, and see where you fall in that spectrum. To do that, you don't need to know exactly how many units everybody has sold. You do need to know, whether you've sold or the other game has sold 50,000 units or if it sold 5,000 units. But it doesn't necessarily need
It doesn't
to
have to be 5,327.
exactly. Bingo. So it's a and I
cheat the
hadn't.
spy and bluff their sales.
What's that?
That's interesting. Esku says someone could cheat the spy and bluff their sales. Maybe
They could, but there's little inherent benefit in bloating your own sales on Steam Spy, because Steam's still going to have, Steam's still going to have their accurate sales. So somebody can still go to Steam itself and say, all right, the game didn't even rate in the top 30 or 40 of survival games from last year. You could do it for your ego, but there's not going to be much revenue or business push you get from it, basically. But so the interesting thing is this site, I'm going to go there, hopefully it won't pop up.
Yeah, do you have the link?
Yeah.
For what we're talking about, yeah. We need to put these in the
see,
doc as well.
These are all the wonderful things that Indy does in the background when we're doing these shows, and now I'm in charge, and God knows where we're going to end. So this is the article.
Using achievement stats to estimate sales. Okay, yeah, that was the.
All right, so you have. I was not aware of this site. So this is, all of this data and all this stuff is coming from a site called Barter VG. I'll post that in there. Well, there we go. What lets you trade your digital leftovers for games on your wish list? Is this legal? You're swapping back and forth. Okay, so you're doing direct. Oh, this is interesting. So anyway, they feel like they have a better method of figuring out what the sales are using achievements, which, to be honest, is the way when the Xbox first started doing achievements, this is exactly the way that we would estimate the sales of Xbox Live games, is by finding the lowest common denominator achievement and looking at how many people had hit it. So any achievement in the game that, like, usually the first achievement you got or the second or the third, we would then go in and say, okay, we're going to go with, this is roughly how many people have played the game and at least booted it up. So it doesn't shock me that they're using it. But then, yeah, as you scroll down, you get into a whole bunch of math stuff that I'm sure a lot of you out there understand that I don't. But it's interesting that, and then down at the bottom, looks like Valve is rounding the numbers on the API now, so this method no longer works. Well, glad we talked about that. Put that at the top of the article. So yeah, screw that. Steam Spy is still out there, but Valve says they're going to release.
Oh well, everything you just read.
Yeah, everything we just talked about. Just forget it. Valve says they're going to do their own. We'll see. We'll see how that works out.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what is it? There's a video here on. We need to add this to our video library. How looking at sales data can help devs understand Steam. We will, absolutely. We're not going to sit here and go through this entire lecture. But actually, we may actually have that already on our thing. So if you are wanting to catch up, let me see here. I'll put it in YouTube. We've created a library that has, curated lists of videos from conferences, and we usually try to keep it to the last 2 years to keep it relevant, unless it's something that's super evergreen. But if we don't have this on here, then we will add it. But this is something that for devs out there, I highly, highly recommend you going and taking a look at, because it's going to help you in the end. You need to be able to understand at least the high level version of how Steam works and how it does data. So, you can make informed decisions as a developer on, either what kinds of games you want to make, or, the how to market the games that you're already well into development in. I mean, looking at something and going into a bunch of data when you're at beta stage of your game isn't really going to help anyone. But it could very well help you market your game and point out the unique selling points and features that you have that other folks don't.
And it's a video from Mike Rose, who has been around the block a few years. He was with Tiny Build, and then he started his publishing company, No More Robots. I believe that's correct.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. And he's a good dude, super knowledgeable.
I'm sitting here reading this as we go through it as well. So, Rising Star Games, a publisher, got picked up by Thunderful. Not overly shocking, but here's another. So, yeah, here's a good article. Yes, you need to start marketing your game early. So this one is going to outline, the various reasons that you need to start marketing your game. And it is, marketing is one of those things that a lot of devs don't think about. They don't really want to deal with it because they don't like it. It's not their forte. They want to focus on making the game, making it fun. And, we've said over and over and over on this show how you have to keep it interesting, and you have to keep it up there, and you have to keep up getting your game out there, or you're just not going to be able to do this for a very long time. I would check this one out as well.
And marketing is just as important as making a good game. And most devs don't realize, and we talk about this, much money it's going to cost a game, you should try and raise that same amount of money, because that's how much marketing is going to cost.
Yeah, and if you missed our show 2 weeks ago when we had the guys from Hourglass Technologies, like, what is Nicholas's company name? But they gave us a really good rundown on a lot of the basics and why you should market it and how you should do it, and the 4-1-1 rule and the 60-30-10 rule, which I was even unaware of. So it was we'll put a link in there to Indy. Can you find the link to that show and drop it in there for us?
Sure. Certainly.
I love the fact that I clicked off our stream to go to the video, and I'll come back and chat's gone, and it completely refreshed it. So I have no idea what anyone was talking about.
Talking about need to start marketing your game earlier.
You do need to start marketing, but you need to understand what parts of your game you need to market too. Any other cool news you come across this week, Andy?
I'm looking for this video right now.
All right, so the other thing that we wanted to do today while we're playing around, and if anybody's got any questions along the way, here we go, fire them out there. But Indy and I since we've had 2 weeks off here, wanted to take a look at the indie games either on sale, because we are still in the midst of the Steam summer sale until tomorrow, I believe.
Yeah, it's the 5th, I believe. Yeah,
they have a countdown on the site. All the sales end in 22 hours. If you weren't, bombarded enough as it is. I love the one. Let's go back and look at Starbound. Recommended because it's on sale. That's no kidding. So let's start with top sellers and run through some of these. And we have Stardew Valley. That game I'm absolutely hooked on it on the Switch. I keep convincing myself not to go out and buy it again on the PC. But that's one of those evergreen games. I mean, it's been out. When did it first come out? It's been out for years.
It's been out for at least
Yeah.
a couple of years.
February 2016. So that's no shock that it's up there. Forest is. Sneem, why do you not know how old I am at this point? I was born in 19. Happy. Yeah, Devorium's been on me for a long time to get on the Forest because I do love survival games. But then I'm not a big fan of the horror thing. So, this one is doing extremely well. Looks like they even got a VR patch coming up.
It's a good game. It's messed up. You're on a flight with your like 6-year-old son, and you get in a plane wreck, and then as the plane wrecks, you wake up and you see like this weird cannibal tribal looking guy snagging your son and taking him away.
Oh, well, that's exactly what I need. Because I have a 6-year-old
Well, that
son.
really hits home for me. Yeah.
So, my time at Porsche. Have you played this indie?
Yeah, I think they call it Portilla.
Portilla.
My time at Portilla.
So is
But
this
I could be wrong. It was okay.
It looks fairly Stardew Valley-ish, except in 3D. It's early access. Oh, and it's from Team 17. So it's one of those that you could say, okay, is it indie, is it not? But
I mean, it's
Team 17 is one of the good indie publishers. They do a good job. All right, so this one is actually surprising to me. House Flipper from Playway and Imperium. The reason it is surprising to me is because this is like the next iteration of hidden object games and casual games that have been out there for years, but they've never done well traditionally on Steam. And so here we have one that is doing extremely well.
hidden object game.
Well, it's this one isn't as much of a hidden object game, but the premise has been there. I did a hidden object game that was along these lines as well, but now I'm sitting here and as I go through, it looks like it's a lot more. You can
It looks more like motorcycle builder simulator, PC builder simulator.
Let's run quick.
You paint and
I like that you can go through and actually, sledgehammer and take out the walls. You have to wire the house.
fix broken things. Let's take a
It's like The
they have all kinds
Sims.
of stuff.
It's
Yeah.
The Sims, but you have to do all the work.
Apocalypse Flipper DLC. They have DLC that's called the Apocalypse Flipper.
Of course they do, because everything these days has to have a zombie version.
But they got Planet Coaster, PC Building Simulator, City Skyline, all those did really well.
The the Jurassic Park game that Lacia got me completely hooked on, and I sat there and played it for hours the other day. But Playway, and so I've pulled up Playway's their page on Steam. They are very well known for all of their simulation type games. I mean, like eSport Manager. I mean, they, some of them are good, some of them aren't, but they do a lot of these types of games, and so they understand the market. So I have no doubt in my mind when they were putting this together, they were like, okay, this could be huge. Because, I mean, every HGTV and all these television stations are like nothing but house restoration and house flipping stuff. Let's just get super nosy on this.
Even down below that, a couple down is PC Building Simulator. Which I mean, that makes sense that people would want it. Playway Burn Simulator coming.
Yeah, I think PC Building Simulator is the point when I went, okay, everything has now become full circle. We have like completed some giant arc because now we're
Toilet
having
Cleaner Simulator.
now we're having simulators on the PC about building PCs. So, look at this. That was launch, and then they've had
I'll be
another
right back. I got-
huge spike going up with the sale. But I mean, they're looking at over, from Steam Spy, over 250,000 copies of this thing sold. That's extremely impressive. And let's see. I love the fact that we can get Twitch stats on this stuff. But they're getting a lot of traction on Twitch. 15,000 viewers on May 23rd, and it's gone down a little bit, but that's
The PC one or House
no,
Flipper?
no, this is House Flipper. Let's go and check out PC. So if you aren't using Steam Spy and you aren't familiar with Steam Spy, we'll give you a little like rundown on this right now. And keep in mind, your mileage may vary because I'm a Patreon of Steam Spy, so I've got access to stuff that basic people may not have, and so I don't know. I truthfully don't know how much of this is viewable by the general public on Steam Spy. But if you are a developer, it is well worth the whatever I pay every month, $10 or $20 to get access to this because it's a wonderful tool. And so you can go and got each individual game here, but at the same time you have an overview of the company. So they have 16 games out on PC, or on Steam, I should say. Playway has a lot of games on mobile too. Their average user score is pretty consistent with their Metascore at mid 60s, which isn't. I mean, it's not bad for some of these games because you see a big variance when you go on Steam and how are individual games ranking. They're either like they're loved or they're hated, and so to have an average viewer score, an average user score in the mid 60s isn't bad at all. So what were we looking for? PC Builder?
PC Building Simulator.
I can't type.
Dum 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 dum.
That's not. Let's go. Search. PC Building. PC Building Simulator. Here we go.
Look, Jay, all of these games on the list are over $10.
I know, it's amazing, isn't it? Oh my
Yeah.
God, they're like 120,000 copies.
Over $10 on sale. Stardew Valley. You know what I mean? They're all on. You can now overclock your virtual PC in it.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if they ran such a high-end engine in the background that you had to overclock your graphics engine in order to be able to overclock your graphics engine in the game?
Don't thank you for the biddies. Oh, you don't have the alert set up, do you?
No. Oh, did we? Thank you very much, Tatsu. Here we go. You're a little toast to you, man. No, we don't have alert set up. I have the follower alert set up. Our zombie that and wanders around everywhere. I have. This is just absolutely fascinating to me. And if you want to see someone do a deep dive on Steam Spy and the Steam sales every week, I highly recommend you you check out our buddy Game Dev Company. You throw a link to his channel in there. I don't know. Are you here, Bjorn? Raise your hand if you're here. Because he goes through this like twice a week and looks at all the big trending games that are out there and how they're doing and all of this kind of good stuff. Let's see. So they're looking at over, pushing 150,000 copies. See how much it's streamed. Not streamed that. Oddly enough, Twitch viewers don't find that watching people build PCs is that interesting. But oh my goodness. Views on YouTube. This by day or yeah, this is by day. Wow.
I wonder if they have like brand names in there, or it's just like generic,
No, let's find out.
DMA graphics cards that are just like an AMD card. Or
They should. That would be great cross promotion. Let's see. It was on the indie page, wasn't it?
yeah, under top sellers.
But oddly enough, this is not a Playway game. I assumed it was. Watch a little video before. Well, it says it had Intel processors in there. With official partners. Wow. Really, really good idea. Oh, so it's not just, you're not just building your own, you can actually run your game repair website. It teaches you how to do it. There's far more to this game than I understood. This is why we do these things. So as we're looking at and thinking through unique selling points and all of those wonderful things, here you have, I mean, the name is almost like a misnomer. It doesn't go into the level of depth that's on there. That's in the game anyway. It's early access at $20 normally. See, that's good. It's not less than $10, Andy.
Nope.
So they've done. I mean,
the irregular corporation.
They've done several things here that are, very interesting. They've got, of course, the part where you're building your PC. They've gone out and got official partners, which is going to help them with marketing and cross marketing. I'm sure they've got their partners promoting, the game as well. You get into, so Andy, let's say hypothetically, if you were to need a new computer
on the wall.
What's that?
They have CPU magazine posters on the wall.
Oh, do they?
Mm-hmm.
They but like, let's say hypothetically, if someone needed a new PC, like, no one that we know in particular, that person could go in and build their PC in this game and then order all the parts that they needed and even get taught, which would be good for me because I stopped building my PC years ago, the ability to learn how to do it along the way. That is awesome. Good job.
PC part pick of the game.
PC part pick of the Let's see who Irregular Corporation is. What they've done. Is this their only game, or, which is always interesting when the developer on Steam is listed as an individual and a company. Developer and publisher of unique games and experiences for passionate communities. So they are focusing on very niche titles. And the beauty of focusing on niche titles is you pretty much can own that space and you can charge a premium because you don't have a lot of competition out there. Very, very cool. See what they got on GameSpot.
come to a PC Building Simulator as of 23 hours ago. It says, nice.
So it doesn't look like the first two games did all that well. Review-wise, anyway, they're reviewed in the 40s, but this one has wonderful reviews. So kudos.
Yeah,
So-
and they don't have like a massive social media following, or it looks like one of their games is a sailing simulator.
Yeah. And I've seen a couple of those, usually around the time of the America's Cup, you'll see something, come out along those lines. But it's not something that, it's a very niche title. And it's like, so the fans of that sailing are going to jump all over those games where, it's not going to hit mass market. All right, so Hollow Knight's coming up next, another one that's been around for quite a while.
Hollow Knight.
It's only been out a year, but still a very well-known game. We won't dwell on this one because it's one of those that is, been out for quite a while. They are, even it's been out for a year. They're still selling it at $15. It is, reduced down to $9.89 for the Steam sale, though. Ark. We know about Ark. It's good. Slay the Spire, which is, still doing very well, even though it's still early access. I have not played this yet. Have you played it?
Dude, Tabletop Simulator.
Oh, I know.
It's been out for a while. What's awesome about Tabletop Simulator is all of the mods, just endless amounts of DLC. I mean, you can download the Dark Souls board game that people have created for it. It's amazing.
What is
Slay the Spire? Yes, I did play Slay the Spire, and it is Slay the Spire is awesome. I can't believe it's only $10.
I should probably pick that up. I'm getting serious lag here. Probably because I'm streaming and or broadcasting and everything else, and our internet is
It's the
absolutely.
game I'm thinking of. A different game that was pretty good.
Yeah, so Tabletop Simulator has been out since 2015. They're still selling it at $20. It's down to $10 for the Steam sale. But they have a 34 pieces of DLC.
Which game is that?
Tabletop Simulator.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but not just the DLC. The
Your mic is cutting out horribly. If that helps. Still there, Andy?
yeah, I'm here. We're just cutting out a whole bunch.
Oh, you were. It's probably because I was running the sound. I'll keep the sound off on those videos.
Yeah,
all right.
what I'm saying is tabletop. It's the stuff in the workshop. The workshop.
Oh.
There is a bajillion. I mean, tens of thousands of things in the workshop that you can download.
Are they
All
legal?
different games, different mods. Huh?
Are they legal?
Well, they're mods that people have made.
Oh, I know, but all right. So let's see. They've got the official stuff. The question is, are the games in here Gloomhaven? So, wow.
Yeah, and there's like Star Wars stuff and
So the question is, are these actually licensed versions, or are they basically hacks?
no, they're player made stuff.
Yeah. So
Just like how, and what is it, Left 4 Dead or whatever, you can like have anime characters or whatever. But it's not paid content, it's free content that people make.
yeah, but see, there's a difference. If you make something that's completely original and your own, and put it up there as player content, that's one thing. When you create something that is the exact intellectual property of an actual game owned by an actual company, that's where you get in trouble.
But people have been doing that forever.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm just saying. There's what is the difference between these two? And that's very cool that Tatsu says Red Dragon Inn use as a testing platform for their games. And it would be a fantastic testing platform. So, my question to the folks that are, to the companies that are out there, board game companies, would be, if you got a game on here that you see that someone's already made a mod for, it's probably well worth your time to reach out to them and find out, how you can work with them. If somebody's already done the work for it. I'm looking here because we have Dragonfire and I haven't quite played it yet. It's a little bit overwhelming initially. To see if it's very cool. In Tabletop Simulator, they've got a VR mode too, don't they?
I believe so.
I believe they do. Very cool.
And you can flip the table in some games.
We're serious?
Yeah, if you're in the middle of the game, you get pissed off, you can grab the bit and just throw everything everywhere.
There's another couple here locally that has a son that's roughly the age of ours, and we have all gotten very much into board games, together, and then on our own as well. And so it would be interesting, because that's always the hardest part with a lot of especially like the really cool board games. It's not something you can sit down and read a rule book and go, okay, now I know how to play this. You either have to have a well done video of other people playing it to get the group going on. I mean, to get the the rhythm going on. Mm-hmm. It's more of, if you've got something like this to teach you how to play, you can absolutely spur sales in your physical game. So Devorah says, I think companies ignore it because it's not worth the trouble to go after them. That said, they should reach out to modders if they want to get it. And that's my point. Yeah, it's probably not worth it to go after and sue them, because most of the companies that are, creating these, indie board games, as I'll call them, yeah, it doesn't make sense to go after and sue them, but it does make an immense amount of sense to reach out to these modders and basically bring them into the fold and see how they can work together. Because quite frankly, nobody is sitting out there creating a mod for a game like Gloomhaven, which at retail is like $180, and it's this gigantic box that, isn't passionate about the game. And so that's a wonderful resource that some of these publishers should be jumping onto and saying, okay, hey, look, if you're that passionate about it, help us in here. All right, so Slime Rancher. So you've got this one on the wish list, Tatsu. I suck at pronouncing internet games.
I think maybe he's talking about Cuphead.
Oh.
You don't see Cuphead on your
list? Yeah,
maybe he's talking about Slime Rancher. I never played Slime Rancher. I did play Cuphead, though, and that's a bunch of boss fights.
I'm watching to see what this actually is.
Oh, Slime Rancher?
Yeah. So what are you supposed to be doing here, Tatsu? Is it a shooter? Hail of Beatrix LeBeau, a plucky young rancher who sets out for life in the 1,000 light years away from Earth on the far, far range, where she tries her hand at making a living wrangling slimes. It's a shooter meets Stardew Valley deal. See, Div, you have got the hang of the whole pitch thing now. And they have a merch site. Oh, speaking of merch site, there was the thing that you and I saw yesterday that IndieBox is doing now. Completely jumping tangents. We'll pull that up in a second. Let me see. I can work on that momentarily. So the guys behind IndieBox, which is a subscription box that you can they send indie games to you every month, and they went on. They got hit with a little bit of oversaturation, but now they have opened up a new opportunity. If I can find the email, let's see here. You have the link handy.
I deleted that email. Let me see if I can.
Never mind. I got it. I got it.
What it is it's a you can set up your own merch booth. It's a merch booth in a box, basically, for whatever $10,000. You can make 40 or something like that. Is that what it is?
So if you're going to something like PAX West and you need to have stuff to sell, it doesn't make sense to do. I mean, I'll go and tell you, don't do this for something that's business focused, because you're not going to be selling a lot of merchandise to people like me. But when you're going to something like PAX West, or I mean even E3 for the consumer side, or if you got a booth on the consumer end at Games Convention coming up, they have put something together here where you basically buy a kit. And let's see, the initial kit costs $2,000, which, yes, is not cheap, but they actually outline it on the other page here, where if you sell the t-shirts at 25, the pins at 15, and the cards at 20, you're looking at taking that $2,000 that you invested to get the stuff and selling everything for $6,000 while you're at the show. And we see these questions come up all the time. It's like, where do we get shirts, and where do we get these the pins to hand out when we go to shows and all that kind of good stuff? And this is a fantastic little site that James has set up, coming from the guys at IndieBox. So there's a link to that. Now that we got completely derailed, as we usually do, take a look at that. So Cuphead is Cuphead. This is another one everybody's familiar with. Cuphead, again, $20 game, on sale for $15.
Cuphead made a deal with the devil.
So,
have you ever listened to the soundtrack of Cuphead?
I haven't played it yet.
Oh, the soundtrack.
I have
amazing.
A backlog of games that is ridiculously, large, and then, I got introduced to Jurassic Park Evolution the other day, and now it's just like gone to hell.
It's really that good? Because just watching it doesn't really look. You won't exciting.
Like it. I don't think you'll like it at all. It's very much business simulation, but with dinosaurs. It's a tycoon game at the end of the day. You have to set up the attractions to keep your visitors happy, and at the same time you have to be sending out expeditions to dig up fossils and research genomes and all of that.
Boring.
Yeah, see, I've seen what you play, and I've seen what you like. You won't like it. I love it. And Devorium, yeah, I still haven't played The Forest, and then Indy gave me the quick rundown on the story, and after finding out that you're going to lose your 6-year-old kid to a bunch of cannibals, and I have a 6-year-old kid, and I just don't even want to go there right now. I would much rather turn a T-Rex loose on my my visitors at my park. That would be.
Did I tell you those crazy topless naked women cannibals?
I mean, if you're a cannibal, seriously, what's the point in wearing clothes? It's just kind of.
And it's funny because they'll be trying to get you, and then they might start fighting each other. And then if one of them's dead, the other one will start eating it. It's pretty crazy. Crazy.
Something just popped up here. Game. So what is this? Fox and Forests.
Ori and the Blind Forest?
No, Fox and Forests. It's on the ticker. From bonus level and Euro Video Median. Again, $20 game. On sale for $15. But it's like a little Metroidvania Fox.
I think I have a key to that somewhere. I think I got it from Keymailer.
You have such a rough life. I think I have a key to that. I need more keys.
More keys.
But all right, so here, go ahead.
Deep Rock Galactic. Were we going to talk about that?
We can. Do you want to talk about Deep Rock Galactic? It's on my wish
love
list.
Deep Rock Galactic. It's super fun. Have you played it?
No, it's on my. I have it on my wish list, but it hasn't like made it to the. Oh wow!
Made it to the...
So somebody's playing it on stream right now. All right, look, I love the fact that Steam has this now.
When you go to the game page and it's
Yes.
just like, bam, there's a stream right there.
That is awesome. Log in to join chat. No, that's okay. So, 1-4 co-op first sci-fi FPS featuring badass space wars. I'm a huge fan of dwarves. When I play Warhammer, you know, the RTS, I always take the dwarves. We play D&D, when I play any kind of fantasy thing, love playing dwarves. Angry, beer drinking, you know, people who love gold. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's like the quintessential.
And it's cool because there's 4 different classes it can be. So you're all on a spaceship. You can run around your spaceship and change your outfits and you know, do different stuff. And then you all launch into a planet and then you have to go and mine stuff. So and then when you're done mining, you have to, and you have to fight a bunch of those weird aliens.
So it's
when you're done, you have to race as fast as you can back to the escape pod.
But you're not going against other. It's not your squad versus another squad. It's you. It's basically squad-based PvE.
Yeah.
No, I want to check it out.
Everything is destructible. Well, almost everything. There's some stuff that 99.9% of things are destructible.
Remember when Red Faction came out and that was such a big deal?
I never played that.
Such a good. I mean, as a shooter, it wasn't bad, but you know, as from a technology point of view, the fact that they were, you know, able to make everything destructible was just genre bending at that time. $25. All right, so here's something I want to point out. And so we're going to flip between top sellers and coming soon, and I want you all to notice something. These images up front, this is what catches the, you know, gamer's eye initially. These are the things that you need to make it, you know, to pop, make it someone go, oh, let me check this out. Look at the difference between the art that we see on the top selling page and the art on the coming soon pages. A lot of these, they just don't have. There's a game called Booty Calls.
I know. I was just going to say, the Booty Calls art looks great.
Thank you, Steam, for opening everything up. Hintris. Bet you that is naked Tetris with hentai. But look at the difference between, you know, the quality of the art on some of these things. It's well worth your time as a developer if you can't create compelling, what would these be called? Not icons, but, you know, images, you know, title images, whatever you want to call it. It is absolutely worth your time to take a look at, you know, how these games, because this is marketing right here. You know, it may be a, you know, just a single image, but it's the image that's going to jump out. Yeah, preview thumbnails works. That's good. I always think of thumbnails as square, but, you know, preview thumbnails works very well. But look at how these games present themselves and, you know, work for that. You need to be able to give the player at least a decent idea of what your game is going to be in that. And by having a high quality thumbnail, you know, that's going to drive users to the page, which, you know, in turn will drive sales, wish lists, all that kind of good stuff. You know, you see a lot of companies on the app stores. They do a ton of A/B testing on, you know, what kind of images work and don't work when they're doing, you know, when they're out there on the store, because we are dealing with something that's
even studies with like they will have a close up of someone's face. Oh, and they'll be looking left and looking right, and then with different facial expressions, what sells the best? And they figured out, that it's character looking screen right, like yelling. That's the one that does the
What was
best.
the Fallout Shelter icon? Last time they updated it or something. It's like users have told us that screaming from the left side of the screen is very effective. So that's what the icon is now. But I mean, you can see, and I'm the last one that's going to sit down and say, "Oh, well, you need to adjust your shader and do blah blah blah." I don't know that level of art. I can tell you what looks good and professional and what doesn't. And so, from the top sellers page right here, all of these games. I'm sorry, this is what's popular. Then you look at the top sellers, and then you look at some of the coming soons. It's not the same level of quality, that you see in here. Dab Man, when the haters dab back.
Good Lord.
Oh my God, it's live action. Wow.
Except Booty Calls. Come on, Booty Calls looked amazing. I'm going to have to look
How did it get a PEGI rating of 18? Wow. Help Mermaid Princess Andriella fulfill her task by getting it on with the hottest chicks in the naughty beach.
I would not go all the way through that video if I were you.
I turned it off.
Yeah, because there was some stuff.
So it's one of those things that you need to make sure that you put some time investment into when you're getting ready to submit these stores. Even some of these, it's like New Ice York. That's not not taking anything away from the game itself, but that's not exactly a compelling image to suck somebody in. Beyond Boy,
it's not compelling. Good. Or the game Annual, that's not very compelling at all either. And what's something that really bugs me is when people have a font and then they resize it, but they don't scale it, so it's squished.
Yeah.
That really just bugs me. And it makes it not compelling. You don't want to go, oh, this looks like garbage, but you can say, this is not compelling. Is this going to make somebody want to click on this?
So Cave Sweeper, not horrible. Looks like they've taken...
Which ones are you looking through right now, coming soon?
No, new and trending.
Okay.
Yeah, first page.
Yeah, that Cave Sweeper one, that pops out. You know what I mean?
But oh no, $3. No, I mean this is actually a good mechanic. We always talk about to make your game stand out, take something that's new, and this is what Nicholas and Demetrio talked about in our last show. 60% needs to be something familiar.
30%.
Go ahead.
30%
is doing something better than the next person, and 10% is something completely new. So they've taken Minesweeper, a game that everyone has played, and I thoroughly suck at. I use the tried and true method of clicking around until I hit a bomb, and they've merged it with an RPG. But they need to be selling. Yeah, no, they need to be selling this for more than $3. That's the fail mechanism on this particular game. Shoot through some of the New Ice York, $9.99. Exposure, $3. Look at this. All right, so $3, $10, 3 free. See what Demons Are Crazy.
That actually doesn't look that bad.
Oh, it doesn't either. Oh, it's got mixed reviews. Early access is free. Do they have any in-game monetization? Can't tell if they or not. Come clean your Satan throne with his action-packed mobile boss hunt. So yeah, chances are they're going to, add in downloadable content. Yeah, there you go. So you can see them switching armors. That one's free. 60 cents down from $1. Free to play. $1. $3. Free. $6. $2. $2. $6. $5. $1. Now look over on, top sellers. There is nothing 15, 20, 20, 20, 20, 35, 20, 15, 104. Must be like the Uber edition. Everything on here is $15 to $20. That's you again can't sell your game for $3. Expect to be able to finance a new game based on it.
DearEvil.exe is 49 cents, and that looks like a pretty dang good game. So it looks like a torture platformer.
Yeah.
It was just released on July 3rd. He completely undervalued his work.
Exactly. And if you sincerely think that your game is only worth, $3, ignore that part of you and go ahead and put it out there at $15. You can always do a sale later on, but you can never, go in and then say, okay, we're going to jack up the price 500%. Or like this. Let's see, what is this one? Oh, it's 2 years old, but still $3. So, as usual, we've come through to the general consensus that we normally do, and the things that we constantly beat in everybody's head is don't devalue your titles. Make sure that you've got something that you can sell, realistically for $15, $20.
Yep. Super Dangerous Dungeons.
Split the party.
That dude undervalued his game again. It's very cute. It's very, but it looks hard.
Which one were you looking at?
Super Dangerous Dungeons.
That one's the last page?
No, it was on the first page of new and
trending.
Yeah.
I've jumped around already. Yeah, Super Dangerous.
Yep.
That's great thumbnail art too.
Yep. It's appealing. It made me want to click on it. What's up, Costin?
Hey, Cousin. Doing good.
Crazy.
Celebrating America today.
I think I'm gonna go take a nap. We went to the 10:30 showing of The Incredibles 2.
How was it?
The animation. I mean, I'm an animator, so I'm super critical about the animation of things. It wasn't as good as the other one. I feel there were a lot of scenes where I just felt the characters moved really janky. But the movie was awesome.
Does their hair still look plastic?
Sort of, yeah.
Hey, Heidi.
But the movie was really cool.
We're going through it. If you haven't been watching, we're going through and looking at the indie games coming out. There's no reason, and basically critiquing their Steam pages. This Super Dangerous Dungeon, there's no reason why they shouldn't be selling this for more money.
No.
Over 50 game. Levels. All right, so all right, Andy, what would you say in the, I'm going to spawn out a new tab here. What would you say in the spectrum of indie games that are out there right now? What would be the most, how many levels does Hollow Knight have? What would be the best comparison?
To Hollow Knight?
No, to that Super Dangerous Dungeons.
Oh man.
How many levels does Hollow Knight have?
I don't know.
Doesn't say.
I just think it reminds me of the TurboGrafx. What was that game on the TurboGrafx 64 or whatever?
I never had a TurboGrafx 16 actually.
TurboGrafx, yeah, that's the kind of graphics it reminds me of. Just that style.
Oh, Divinorium says there's not like a level per se in Hollow Knight. So, you think that $5 is a good price for that game?
I think they should sell it for 10 at least.
At least, yes, I agree. So if I'm making a shoot 'em up fishing hybrid game with pixel art done by a friend, would it be worth selling for $15 or $20? If it's not worth selling for $15 or $20, you need to up your content. It is my strong opinion that as an indie developer, you should not be selling your game for less than $15 or $20. You can put them on sale, like we've talked about, but the core price should be at least that much.
I like that. I like that. If you think if it's worth $2 or $3, then put more content to make it worth 15.
And Divinorium, that's even if it is a new dev trying to get people to know his work, that's fine. But you're devaluing the product that you're creating, and therefore your studio yourself, by putting on there. And you're not alone. 90% of the people out there only buy games on sales nowadays. That's the world that we've come to with Steam wish lists and all of that sort of stuff.
And groupies and all that stuff. Bundles.
But put the game out there at $15 and then run the sale, to put it down to 10. But when you first release, those people that are going to buy it at first release, if they were going to spend it at 10, they're going to spend it at 15. There's not that big a difference in the cost that they're looking at. And those are the people that were passionate about it all the way through. Those are the people that saw it at first, or they followed it with a wish list or early access. They're your true fans. They're going to pay that extra $5. You can then step down and take a step back and go to 10 if you want to every now and then. But, how many, as we're looking through this list, the only game that I see on here is Terraria. That's at $10 now. And that game's been out since 2011. And I've never gotten very far in that game. But, have the content in there. Oh, I know exactly. There's far more gameplay in there, but it's 7 years old at this point. It's not something that you can look at as a clear competitor at one of those. Is it worth $10? Yes, absolutely. You should pick it up for $10. It's a great game, but it's not. You can't price your game coming out on a game that was epically successful, 7 years ago, or for the last 7 years. You'll constantly get into what we see with everybody just pricing their things down to $1. Which one were we looking at? Oh, we were trying to find. I'm trying to find a competitor to Super Dangerous Dungeons. And I don't know, I mean, I'll be upfront. I don't know enough about the whole Metroidvania genre to sit down and say, this is a good one. This is a good example. This is a bad example. Super Meat Boy. Let me take a look at Super Meat Boy. So there are, Harry says, the problem is that the market's overloaded and the rules of the free market is that if demand is low, you need to lower the price. So there are too many games for the current market. Yes, that is exactly right. But you're not going to get, enough sales pricing your game at $2 or $3 to justify, not pricing it higher. And unless you're like, super well known. I mean, how many people sit down and go, do I want to buy Super Meat Boy, or do I want to buy the Super Dangerous Dungeons? Super Meat Boy has been out ever. I mean, it's $1.50 right now. Okay, even Super Meat Boy is still selling at 15, but they're selling it for $1.50 right now. That is an amazing deal. If you let's see, they've got 300 levels in Super Meat Boy. It's a bigger game. It's obviously been out longer. The game's been out since 2010. But I still think, I'm going to stand on my soapbox here and say that, Adventure Island should be selling this thing for more than they are. They spoiled the current. So, hold on, let me catch up with you, honey. There are too many games in the market, so to compete, people have to offer more and better content for the same price, or lower the price and offer the same. They spoiled the current generation, so people even think Utomic is too expensive. Already have that many games themselves. Yes, but how many of them do they play? You play the good games. I mean, and I'm just as bad as anybody else. I've got hundreds of games in my Steam catalog that, I've never played. But, from a business point of view, you're not doing yourself any favors, selling for $5. Let's look at, see what it's done on Steam Spy, if it's on here yet. It is not showing. Yeah, and that's why, I agree that, but that's why you can't use, games like Super Meat Boy and Terraria as legitimate best in breeds when you're sitting there trying to price your game day. Those are just like when you do averaging and you toss out the high and the highest and the lowest. All right, so apparently Super Dangerous Dungeon doesn't even have enough, hasn't been out long enough, or doesn't have enough sales yet to pop up on Steam Spy, so we can't get a good idea. It was only released 2 days ago, so that's not a good idea. Well, they're not going to have it anyway. So, but yeah. I mean, I know it's a race to the bottom. It's it always has been, but we saw the race to the bottom on iOS, and it ended up with everything ended up as free to play. We've had the same, thing happen on PC, but PC gamers are different, and they're not expecting something for free like they expect everything on the iOS store to be free. And it's just, you get that consumer that's like, okay, well, if it's only $3, it can't be that good, or $5 in this case. I completely get what you're saying, but I still don't think indie teams should be releasing their games for less than $15 or $20. What do we have up next? There anything that's got the new and trending that's got the higher amount of cost? My browser, absolutely. Here we go. Here's what host is $10.
What is Xenocyte Clad?
Where are you seeing that one?
On new and trending.
Which page?
It would be on the third page. Just released.
Oh, I'm on the second page. Hold on. I thought I was on the.
My browser's super slow. I can't pull anything up. You just bought Hollow Knight for $15 and it felt good? And it felt good.
Well, see, yeah, and I think that's where I think that $15 price point gives you a lot of mobility. It doesn't push you into that $20 range, but you're still asking a respectable amount of money for the game, and you can still and you can run a 30% off sale and sell it at $10. There's no limit on how long you can do that. I don't know. I think maybe Steam may be slow. If it's browsing slow, yeah, I think Steam's getting slammed right now with the last day of the sale.
Yeah, I can't even pull up any videos or images or whatever.
Steam might have completely burped out on us.
Went out.
We can take a look at it tomorrow, see if it's any better.
Yeah.
All right, so with that shot, oh, I didn't realize are you talking about when they added like the streaming videos, Heine? Because I can imagine that sort of change plus the summer sale completely borked their site.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we cover today?
Everything.
Bluehole finally dropped their lawsuit against Fortnite. Sony is still playing the hard line of we're not going to change anything on our co-op. Let's see, there's a new conference merch site for indies and teams that need a kit of merchandise to sell at shows. You need to sell your game for more than $15 or for $15 or $20, like what we talk about every week.
You also posted barter.vg where you can barter your game.
Yeah, I'm going to check that out because God knows I've got enough old games in there that I may be able to get something decent out of it. And we're taking a look at your thumbnail images. The thumbnail image is very, very important when you're doing
your thummies.
Yep, exactly. To bring that user in.
Excellent.
Yeah, I will not disagree with you there, honey. Nintendo's always asking too much for their old stuff, and most indies ask too little. Yeah, I agree. It was something I was going to pick up. I was going to get Donkey Kong Frozen Country for the Switch, and I was like, this game's probably going to be sold for like $20 or $30. It was like $60, and I'm like,
crazy.
Yeah, not today. Maybe later.
Not gonna do it.
Not today.
Not gonna do it. Yeah.
I've got my pre-order down for Super Smash Brothers, and
got
nice.
It for $50.
Hacker on sale.
Hacker.
Amazon sale or something along those lines. It doesn't matter though, because all I end up playing on the Switch is Stardew Valley over and over and over and over and over again.
That's funny.
What I'm absolutely hooked on. Even my son's like, "Oh, Dad, are you going to play Stardew Valley again?" Yes, I am.
That's funny. Do you play it on the big screen or on the tablet?
I usually just play it on a tablet because it's like in the evenings when we're just sitting upstairs and chilling out and all that sort of stuff. So it's not, I can bring it down here and put it on the big screen. We've got a Switch dock down here, but I never have.
Should have picked up an extra Switch dock. It went from Toys R Us before they were.
Well, we didn't get it from Toys R Us, but that was one of the beauties of the Switch. You can just put hook up an extra cradle and you're good to go. So
yeah,
we got a cradle upstairs for him, and a cradle downstairs for me, basically.
That's funny.
Yeah, and I'm with you on that one too. I want the Street Fighter game, but I'm not going to pay $50 for.
I was never into fighting games. I mean, they're okay, but
I'm not good at it.
You know what? I guess Soul Calibur. I was really into Soul Calibur.
I love Soul Calibur
for a while.
I was
like the first Virtua Fighter. That was pretty fun.
On the original PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not good at any of them, but I do like playing it. We've got Capcom versus Marvel that we'll sit down here and play, and we got whatever the original DC comic one was that was done by the Mortal Kombat folks.
D-pad games are way better. Yeah, because those Switch controls are. All right.
That's how bad I am. I can't even tell you the pros and the cons of the controllers on there. So
It cramps up my hands using the little controller.
itty bitty. Yeah, a buddy of mine got me two of the SNES replica controllers to go with my emulator cabinet, and I never use them because I'm like used to a much bigger controller now, and I'm like, I can't make this work. So, but anyway, we're gonna roll. That's gonna do it for today, and then tune in tomorrow where I'll probably still be hosting again, and we're gonna see if I can improve at any of this. Probably can't, but we're gonna try anyway. If you're in the States, enjoy your 4th of July. Don't blow your hand off with a firework. If you're not in the States, watch the news tomorrow for all the people who blew their hands off
with
the fireworks because they got drunk and started playing with fireworks on the 4th of July. America. Sorry. Bye, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.